Discover the profound meaning behind the Tibetan sand mandala in this captivating video. Dive into the years of training monks undergo to create these intricate designs, the spiritual lessons they embody, and their symbolic journey from creation to destruction. Tibetan sand mandalas are intricate artworks crafted to inspire healing, peace, and purification. They hold a dual purpose, spiritual or psychological focus for both the creators and viewers. The word mandala, derived from Sanskrit, means circle. These geometric designs symbolize the universe. Once completed, sand mandalas are ceremonially destroyed, highlighting the impermanence of everything in existence. The concept of the mandala first appears in the Rig Veda, dating back to around 1500 to 1100 BCE, part of Hinduism's foundational religious texts known as the Vedas. Over time, it was embraced by various Indian philosophies, including Charvaka, Jainism, and Buddhism. The earliest recorded mention of Tibetan sand mandalas is in the Blue Annals, Tibetan, Debthar Sangon Pa, a historical account of Tibetan Buddhism written by scholar Goslo Tsa Ba Gzon Nudpal, also known as Go Lotsawa Zanupe, between 1476 and 1478. Mandalas are often circular but can also take the form of squares or rectangles. While Buddhist art traditionally featured mandalas on canvas, walls, and statues as temple focal points for centuries, Tibetan Buddhist monks later introduced the unique practice of sand mandala creation. Unlike permanent artworks, sand mandalas are made solely to be destroyed, symbolizing life's fleeting nature and the Buddhist principle of non-attachment. Mandalas. The mandala's origins trace back to the Vedic period, c. 1500 to 500 BC. In India, where it represented the universe with Brahman, the central deity, at its core. Hinduism, or Sanatana Dharma, eternal order, teaches that Brahman created the universe and embodies it. The eternal truths of existence, spoken by Brahman, were perceived by sages in meditative states and orally transmitted until written down during the Vedic period. Among these truths was the image of the mandala, a profound symbol of cosmic harmony. The mandala in Indian belief systems. The mandala, like the Vedic scriptures, was believed to originate from the universe rather than the human mind. This idea was upheld by most Indian spiritual traditions, except the materialist Charvaka school. Charvaka, rejecting any notion of higher powers, used the mandala to illustrate the material aspects of existence without invoking deities or the afterlife. In contrast, Jainism and Buddhism embraced theistic interpretations of the mandala. Scholars Robert E. Buswell, Jr. and Donald S. Lopez, Jr. described the mandala's early evolution. Mandalas may have started as simple circles drawn on the ground for rituals like consecration, initiation, or protection. In developed forms, they are seen as palaces of a primary deity at the center, surrounded by attendant deities. These can be symbolic representations or physical constructions, representing a key contribution to Asian sacred arts. In Buddhism, the mandala became a revered image offering blessings and spiritual insights to its creator and audience. The artist monk who creates it is thought to channel a divine vision, gaining blessings and spiritual discipline. Mandala paintings or sculptures became objects of veneration, symbolizing existence itself. However, interpretations of mandalas are subjective, acting as spiritual mirrors reflecting each viewer's inner state. Contemplating a mandala is believed to promote spiritual awakening and emotional growth. Tibetan Buddhism uniquely views mandalas as tools to accelerate understanding of existence and enlightenment, unlike other Buddhist traditions that advocate a gradual path to awakening. Buddhism and the practice of non-attachment. According to tradition, Buddhism was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, a Hindu prince who renounced worldly life to become the Buddha, the Enlightened One. Living around 563 to 483 BCE, Siddhartha realized that human suffering stems from clinging to illusions of permanence in a constantly changing world. This attachment traps people in cycles of rebirth and suffering. The Buddha's Four Noble Truths outlined a way to overcome this suffering through non-attachment. Life is suffering. Suffering is caused by craving. Ending craving ends suffering. The Eightfold Path leads away from craving and suffering. By following the Eightfold Path, Individuals could cultivate harmony with themselves and the world, breaking free from the cycles of pain and illusion. Right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. The Buddha described this as the middle way, a path that balances attachment to worldly things with the extreme renunciation practiced by ascetics and Jainism adherents. The journey begins by recognizing that everything in life is temporary and lacks lasting meaning. While one can enjoy family, friends, and possessions, it is essential to understand their fleeting nature. Personal achievements should also be valued with the awareness that they may not endure beyond one's life. Actions should be performed with the best effort, not for lasting gratification or reward but for their own sake. This mindset allows one to live without the fear of loss, the pain of attachment, or longing for the past. After the Buddha's death, his teachings evolved into three primary schools, possibly originating from early groups like Sthavarvada and Mahasanka. Theravada Buddhism, the school of the elders. Mahayana Buddhism, the great vehicle. Vajrayana Buddhism, the diamond vehicle. All three schools claim to uphold the Buddha's original teachings. None is considered objectively more authentic, though adherents may disagree. Theravada and Mahayana stress renunciation and non-attachment as prerequisites for practicing the Eightfold Path. Vajrayana, however, suggests that non-attachment arises naturally as one understands their true nature and discovers lasting values. Vajrayana Buddhism emerged in Tibet and was systematized by the sage Adisha between 982 and 1054 CE, earning it the name Tibetan Buddhism. Vajrayana, meaning adamantine vehicle, thunderbolt vehicle, or diamond vehicle, emphasizes that enlightenment can arrive suddenly with dedicated practice. This distinguishes Vajrayana from Theravada and Mahayana schools, which focus on a gradual process of shedding the meaningless and embracing lasting values. Vajrayana introduces the concept of tattvam aci, thou art that, suggesting one already embodies what they strive to become. Realization is the key. There's no need to abandon family ties or habits when following the path. Enlightenment, like a sudden thunderbolt, will naturally reveal the adamantine reality, making illusions lose their appeal. Rather than focusing on what must be rejected, the attention is directed to what should be embraced. The Dalai Lama, often seen as a spiritual figurehead of Buddhism, though he represents only the Vajrayana school, frequently emphasizes this idea. In his talks, he advises individuals to practice the best values of their own faith traditions instead of feeling compelled to convert to Buddhism to live an awakened life. As one progresses spiritually, the positive energies generated inspire others naturally, without proselytizing. Actions rooted in the Eightfold Path benefit both oneself and others. The Tibetan Sand Mandala. These principles are vividly expressed in the creation of the Tibetan Sand Mandala. Monks dedicated to Buddhist teachings pour their lives into crafting these intricate designs, only to destroy them afterward. This act symbolizes non-attachment to their labor and its physical results. Creating a permanent mandala for a shrine involves 5 stages. Preparation, cleansing and blessing the materials and workspace through rituals. Drawing the design, using chalk or clay to create the outline. Painting, applying mineral pigments to the design. Shading and accents, enhancing depth with organic pigments. Finishing, cleaning the mandala and adding gold gilt for emphasis. A Tibetan sand mandala follows similar steps, but with key differences. Preparation, a site is selected, which could be a temple, school, museum, or even a hotel conference room. The space is purified with incense and rituals, attended by the monks and a senior monk responsible for the design. Drawing the design, the monks outline the mandala in chalk, often starting at the center and working outward. Designs can include Buddha, the Tibetan star, or Buddhist deities, and are drawn collaboratively by 2 or more monks. Painting, instead of paint, colored sand is used. Beginning at the center, monks apply sand using a chukpur, a metal tool resembling a pencil, or sometimes by hand. The chukpur releases sand precisely by tapping its side with a metal rod. Shading and accents. The monks then fill spaces between the lines with sand and add intricate details that enhance the piece's meaning. Teams of monks work on separate sections, always starting from the center. Finishing a once completed, which may take weeks, the mandala is displayed for people to admire and learn from. At a predetermined time, the monks perform a closing ritual of blessings and prayers before the lead monk ceremonially destroys the mandala by drawing lines through it. The sand is then gathered, often shared as blessings in small packets, while the remainder is poured into a running stream to spread blessings globally. Conclusion: monks spend years training before they are permitted to create a Tibetan sand mandala. They master drawing and painting as well as the precise techniques needed to apply the sand, but their most important lesson is understanding the spiritual meaning of the mandala. They learn its significance to themselves, its impact on the world, and the practice of non-attachment, creating something beautiful for others that might not be appreciated and will not endure. The design most commonly used depicts a grand palace with a throne room at its center, where Buddha sits peacefully in harmony. 4 entrances face the cardinal directions, each guarded by a deity or spirit, some benevolent, others not. Between these entrances are symbols of time, change, or images of other deities and spirits. The specific imagery in a mandala depends on the occasion, as determined by a senior monk. The mandala's vibrant colors reflect the life force and Buddha nature within all beings. Its outer rim symbolizes the universe's constant motion, contrasting with the throne room's serene stillness. In most mandalas, everything outside the throne room appears in motion, inviting viewers to begin at the edge and journey inward toward the center. This interpretation has likely existed for centuries but gained broader attention in the 20th century through the work of Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, 1875 to 1961. Jung identified the mandala as a universal archetype, a symbol of contemplation that transcends time and culture. Jung described the mandala as an instrument of contemplation, guiding viewers from the external world of distractions to the inner world of the center, where peace and stability reside. He suggested it represents the self. As people navigate life, they often become consumed by fleeting distractions, mistaking them for reality and allowing these diversions to dictate their lives. By moving steadily toward one's center, however, one discovers their true self, distinct from life's superficial trappings. This self-awareness provides stability and clarity, helping to prioritize what truly matters. Recognizing how easily others can also be lost in distractions fosters empathy and understanding, making the journey towards self-knowledge beneficial to all. The Tibetan sand mandala takes this concept further by symbolizing life's impermanence. Its dismantling at the end leaves no trace, mirroring human existence. People are born, live, and die, leaving behind only the memory of their impact on others, a poignant reminder of life's fleeting yet profound beauty.